Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone. Come on in. I'm very excited about this session today. Thank you so much for being here. And my name is Michael J. Maher, which I'll explain in just a little bit who I am and what my background is. But really, the reason we are here today is how can we get the most amount of referrals in the shortest amount of time without spending a dime? And I'm going to even throw in an extra phrase. How do we get the most amount of referrals in the shortest amount of time without spending a dime and everyone feels awesome? How do we do that? How do we get referrals? Like not just one referral, but multiple referrals in the shortest amount of time. I don't know about you, but time is of the essence for me, not only in business, but in life. And without spending a dime, you're going to find that where I come from, I am very frugal and came from that type of scenario. So I want to know, how can we make lead generation pay us to do it? Not how do we get leads, do the work, and then get paid? How do we get paid to do the work? Would you guys like to get paid to do the work and then get paid for the referrals, transactions, and so on and so forth that we do afterwards? And what if it could all be fun? F-U-N. Start with the fun. So I'm going to go ahead and go right into this. I do have time for questions throughout. So as you go through and you take notes, do yourself a favor and make sure that you've got a question or two for me during the question break. And I go pretty fast, but remember, there is a Q&A session in here several times. So I'll make sure I get all of your questions answered. I will stay until all of your questions are answered at the very end. So here we go. I'm going to start share and we're going to go right into it, and just let's make sure that we're making use of this time wisely. And listen, it's how to get the most referrals in the shortest amount of time without spending a dime and helping everyone feel awesome at the same time. Ooh, that almost rhymes. It actually rhymes with time and rhyme and dime. All right. So first of all, viewer discretion is advised. What I have to say today has no reflection on any company. It does not have any reflection on whatever company or person that you push you towards this. And I also want you to know that, number one, I'm not funny. If you're looking for funny, I'm probably not going to be your guy. I tend to be straight to the point and businesslike and just crush it. And number two, viewer discretion is advised, is I have no time for non-implementers. I have all the time in the world for implementers. If you're at least willing to take a step forward, then I'm willing to help you wholeheartedly. If you're not even willing to take that first step, then I honestly don't have time for you. And I know that sounds really harsh, but man, where I'm at in life, here's what I've discovered. There's a lot of implementers out there. They just need a path. They need the tracks. They need the help. They need the systems. And those are the ones that I want to work with. So just first of all, right off the bat, just know that I'm not a motivational speaker. If you need motivation, I'm not your guy. I take the motivated and I help give them direction. I take the motivated and I give them momentum. That's what I do. So let's talk referrals. All right. And in the chat, I want you to answer this. How much did you earn when your last referred client closed? You can estimate this, of course, but how much did you earn? What was your commission? In other words, How much is one referral worth to you? How much is one referral worth to you? And I'm looking in the chat window. If you're not familiar with the chat window, it's on, for me, the very bottom, or it's on the right of your screen. So let me know in the chat, like what is one referral worth to you in dollars? Yeah. So Melanie says 7,000, right? Another way to calculate this is what is your average sales price times a certain number, right? Whatever your average commission is. And this is typically what one referral is worth to you, right? All right, now we got them buzzing for some reason. 17,000, 8,000 to 10,000, 10,000, 7,000, 12,000 is the average in our office. I freaking love that you know that. 5 to 10,000, 18,000, 12,000, 7 to 10,000. Yeah. So Tampa, Anna, you're in a market like I was, right? Kansas City was more that number than the 20,000. It was more the 7,000, 10,000. All right. Very good. So that gives us an idea of where we're starting from and what one referral is worth. So, that first thing is just, all right, if I could show you a way just to get one referral in the next 30 to 60 days, it would be worth it to spend an hour together. And the answer to that I know is yes, because of the numbers that you just gave me. So the other thing that I just want to throw out to you is I see some of you that are not on video. I see some of you, you're also on the phone. And here's just give me 60 minutes. Give me 60 minutes and just make this one Zoom. And I know you're on Zooms all the time, but make this your one thing right now. My dad always said, wherever you are, be there 100%. Like wherever you are, be there 100%. Wherever you are, be there 100%. So be here right now for the next 55 minutes. So Gary Keller said at the core of I have to say, I'm in a partnership with KW. It has been a grand experiment and it's working very well. And I just appreciate all the kind word that Gary gives to me in the business. Basically, who am I? I'm the CEO of Referco, one of the world's foremost authorities on referrals. We don't just work with real estate and lenders, but most of our clients are real estate and lenders. I was known or have been known as America's most referred realtor. Howard Britton coined that in 2005. And at that time, I was getting over 600 referrals a year. I continued on to get more than 1,000 referrals a year. And you're going to see here pretty soon what my transaction numbers were as well. I'm the number one best-selling author of a book called 7L, The 7 Levels of Communication, Go from Relationships to Referrals. A few years after that, I co-authored a book with my buddy Hal Elrod, The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. I'm the leader, father, and founder of the Generosity Generation. You are more than welcome to join gengen.com. There is a short application process to get in because we don't allow bots in our group. So you're going to find that we have a very, very clean, tight group. I'm also a top-rated speaker, best-selling author, trainer, and also a certified master coach, among other things, philanthropist, and also investor, and so on and so forth. All right. You're invited to join the Generosity Generation today. If you don't want to enter joingengen.com, you can take your phone and scan or take a picture of that QR code to join very quickly. All right. I have two objectives today. One of them is to give massive value first. I truly believe this is the one thing. And if family reunion was anything, family reunion was a huge validation and verification of this thought. This is the one thing every agent should be doing now. I know it, I believe it, I've experienced it, and now I've seen it at scale. Number two, I want to show you what's next, show you how I may be able to help you get referrals and better your life, and show you how we could possibly work together to build something that's perhaps bigger than you've even imagined. And that's a lot of times what happens is we tend to break comfort zones very, very quickly in the referral mastery system. So I'm here to help you if you're willing to grow. The beginning, a great place to start. I'm going to take 2 seconds on this. But the bottom line is I got licensed in July of 1998. I tried everything: cold calling, door knocking, emailing everyone, direct mail, farming, everything. When I say I tried everything, I tried everything. How about this picture? I like the spiky blonde hair tips right there. Man, I miss those days. All right. So I tried everything, and I didn't get a client from any of those. Well, then I played softball with a guy named Davy Davis. His nickname was Davy Davis, and his wife Vanessa. And Davy was on my softball team, so he had to use me. He literally took one for the team. He did not hire me because of my scripts. He did not hire me because of my competence, obviously. He did not hire me because of my character. He did not hire me because I was sending him market reports on a monthly basis. He simply hired me because if he didn't hire me, he was going to hear it for the rest of his life on the softball team. He literally took one for the team. Well, so I showed them homes. I ended up getting them in a home. If you haven't heard that story, I'll tell it later. But it's one of those where I got them into a home, and I ended up 45 days after their closing doing a housewarming party. And at that housewarming party, ladies and gentlemen, very first event, I got 11 referrals at the very first housewarming party. Now, I had never written a contract. See, the thing about Davey and Vanessa's story is I didn't even write their contract. The new home construction agent wrote their contract. I got, ladies and gentlemen, 11 referrals and didn't even know how to write a contract. So if that dingleberry can get it, then anybody can get it. Now, from there, I did 37 transactions in my first full year, 87 my second, 187 my third, and then we went up way over 300 plus transactions in a year. And it was all referral, all sphere, all referral. And in 2005, I was interviewed by Howard Brinton to be a Star Power star about my referral system. And I was inundated by calls and emails, and everybody was like, what is this housewarming party thing? I would send them the system. What is this triangle of trust thing? I would send them the system. What is this home court advantage and this networking stack? I would send them the system. But what I was doing, I was giving them like an answer, but I wasn't giving them the answer. Well, I knew that to give them the answer, I needed to write a book. Well, like a lot of people who need to write a book, I didn't write a book. Then on December 13th, 2007, I had knee surgery. It was just from lots of sports plate. It was just a cleanup of cartilage. And the doctor said, go home and take it easy, which obviously I'm not very good at because on Monday, the 17th of December, I was feeling an incredible pain in my left side, like when you run or you jog or you work out and you get that like that cramp in your side, and it just didn't get better throughout the day. And I said, hey, I told my wife Sherry, I go, hey, I think I need to go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room midday on the 17th, and they did everything. They did X-rays, they did everything, and they found nothing. And then on the morning of December 18th, 2007, I woke up to a young lady, young nurse, who was doing like a sonogram on my right leg. And she was just moving the sonogram around and just like looking for whatever, I don't know what. And it ended up that I noticed that she was doing that. And I was like, hey, and then I instantly felt awful. I um, I felt cold all over, and I really felt like the everything was slowing down. And I go, I don't feel well. And she goes, it's all good. I'm going to be done in 30 seconds. And then I was like, I don't. And then I heard my heart flatline. I heard the machine flatline, and I literally was dead for 37 seconds. I was resuscitated by the head nurse right there in freaking Olathe Medical Center, of all hospitals in the world. Olathe Medical Center, and the head nurse had used the defibrillator and resuscitated me. She acted very quickly, and when I came to, she was like, "Hey, we almost lost you there. Hang with us." And it was a very emotional moment, as you can imagine. And I remember looking at the date on the board, and it said December 18th, 2007. And I just remember I can't die on December 18th, 2000. That date does not have any significance. And it was the weirdest thought in the world. But what's interesting is they wheeled me down to the surgery. I had to have a temporary pacemaker put in. And when they were doing that, I thought, first of all, my wife would have been really mad at me if I died. Number two, I thought I don't have a child. Like at that moment, I wanted to have a child, and I had never really thought about it before. And number three is I thought, oh my, the system that I have almost died with me. And that I think that would have been a detriment to the world. And so that night in ICU, I actually outlined what became 7L, the seven levels of communication, and with the subtitle, Go from Relationships to Referrals. And what it was, if you're asking what it was, is I had blood clots. I had three that went through each lung, and then I had one that passed through my heart that ended up, killing me, basically. So 11 months later, like, remember I said I wanted to have a kid? We went on a cruise in February. And I'm telling you, if some of you are looking to have children, just go on a cruise, right? So we came back with a souvenir. We were going to call him Souvenir, but we felt like that might be too much. So we called him Max, and Max Maher came 11 months later. And then 2 years later, the book 7L is born. And one of the quotes from 7L is, don't wait for a life-changing event to change your life. And I truly believe that we need to be looking to every day as a life-changing event. Every day can be a life-changing event if we're in growth mode, if we're looking for that opportunity to change our life. So right off the bat, don't wait for a life-changing event to change your life. And after doing this for over 25 years, we know some things. Cold callers are a dying breed. Who answers anymore? And then there's just more and more rules making it harder and harder to do expired, FSBOs, whatever it be legally. DNC this, TCPA that. Door knocking is a lot of time and effort for low results, and a lot of people are starting to have what is it called? Do not knock, right? Do not knock neighborhoods are becoming a thing. Marketing and advertising is really expensive. Even the best of the best in the advertising world say 50% of it works, but we aren't sure which 50%. And honestly, what kind of plan is that? That's not a plan that I want to move forward with. And here's the thing. We all saw it on stage at Family Reunion. We see it at every conference. And the person at the front goes, it's all about relationships. And all the panelists nod. And then the moderator nods, and everybody in the audience nods except me, because it's like, it's not all about relationships. It's not, right? Everybody has relationships. They're just not getting referrals. So really it's like, all right, so how do we actually get referrals, not just have relationships? And what I've discovered, what I have personally discovered, is emailing market reports or equity reports, it doesn't work. Pop buys are a lot of time, a lot of energy and effort with low results, and can turn into a really awkward moment, which I'm not into. Phone calls alone are not enough. Sorry, D2D2, just a call isn't enough. It's not, right? We can't just do phone calls. And here's the other thing. I wrote the 7 levels of communication. One-to-ones are at the very top of the 7 levels of communication. They are the highest form of communication when it comes to business and sales. but they are very time and energy intensive, and they are impossible to scale. What makes a one-to-one valuable is the one-to-oneness. So they're impossible to scale. We know this. Referrals are the past, they are the present, but what's most important is they are the future. In an AI world, we all know that human interaction is going to be the solution. Predictable referrals are the best, especially with something that is leverageable and scalable. So, how do we leverage and scale referrals? And how do we make them not random? How do we go from random to predictable referrals? Are you excited yet? Like, could you imagine if you had a system for predictable referrals? How to get the maximum amount of referrals in the shortest amount of time, which led me to I help business owners build a referable business based on a foundation of love, generosity, and appreciation. So that's the basis of me. If you look at it, like, what do I do on a daily basis? So this January and February, ReferCo clients generated over, and I have to tell you, the numbers are still coming in. So we got over 600 documented referrals in just the first 2 months of the year, with more coming every day, without verbally asking for a single referral. And all of this cost our clients a grand total of, how much do you think it cost them? I mean, what would you invest to get 600 referrals? What would you invest to get 6 referrals, right? How much do you think it cost them? Here's the deal. It didn't cost them anything. They averaged $550, and I know that may not sound like a lot, but compared to spending $5,000 to get those referrals, they averaged $550 income, made money doing the thing that got them those 600 referrals. The return on investment, when you make money, making money, the return on investment is nearly infinite. Like, it's a big, big, big number. So millions in volume and commission while making a profit on their lead generation. Instead of paying for leads, they're getting paid to generate leads. 0 doors knocked, 0 cold calls, 0 pop buys, 0 DNC list checks, 0 TCPA, 0 people bothered, 0 cost. No, wait. Actually, they made a little money doing it. For some, it was their very first time running this play, and they made money and got referrals. Our goal for this spring, which is what I'm leading into, is 1,000 referrals, documented referrals. Want to join us? Results are not typical. I will walk you through specific, I am literally going to walk you through these specific strategies and systems that are earning multiple and predictable referrals right now. My results and my clients' results are certainly not typical, and the average person who attends most trainings, including family reunion, gets 0 results, right? Why? Because they don't do anything. However, I'm happy to show you exactly what's working for me and all my clients for free. This is not get rich quick, side hustle, BS, or for amateurs. This is for those of you that work hard and are nice people. All right. So, some quick questions to consider. How are you touching your database today? In other words, what are you talking to your sphere about today? And if you ran into someone from your sphere, somebody you know, today at the store, what would you talk to them about? And there's lots of answers to this, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to speed right by like this, right? So, is there a best way to keep in touch with your sphere? Have you read MREA? You've heard of the 33 touch, 36 touch. I mean, now they just say more touches, right? 75 touch, 108 touch. When are we going to get to the 365 touch, right? In MREA, it also talks about the 8x8 touch. Do you know what that is? Right? The 8x8 touch is 8 touches in 8 weeks. 8 touches in 8 weeks. And then what if we could mix the best of the 8x8 touch and the best of the 36 touch and increase the frequency, consistency, and predictability of our referrals? Something that Gary Keller might call Mets mastery. There are a lot of ways to keep in touch, but let's cover them all. In the next 2 minutes, here's what I'd like to answer for you. right? What is the single best piece of direct mail you could ever send? What is the single best thing you could email to your database? What is the best Facebook private message you could ever send? The single best thing you could write in a handwritten note. The single best video you could do, for the absolute best text, the single best phone call you could ever make to your database, the single best thing you could ever say at a one-on-one. And number 9, the number one single best reason to contact you. I'm going to cover all those, right? I'm going to cover all, like, what is that single best piece of direct mail? What is the best email? What is the best Facebook private message? And here's the power of this. What if no matter any time you ran into anyone or any piece of marketing you were ever think of sending, what if the message was always the same? What if all of these were the same thing? What if the answer to the best thing to ever communicate to your database was the same thing? Would that make writing emails easier? Would that make writing handwritten notes easier? Would that make this whole game of real estate and the referral game a lot easier? And here's the thing. The best piece of direct mail, email, Facebook private message, text message, audio text message, video email, handwritten note, phone call, one-to-one. The number one single best reason to contact your database is an invitation to an event. It's an invitation to an event because it is by definition attractive. It changes the relationship between you and the person that you're inviting. It is a game changer mentally for both parties. It is an extremely valuable touch, and not all touches are created the same. So we know that the touches need to be different, right? So phone calls, text messages, emails, things like that. But what I've just now covered is we're going to take the different touches, but we're going to make the message consistent. And this goes directly to what StoryBrand Donald Miller said, which is minimum cognitive load. What if our database only had to handle a minimum cognitive load to work with us or deal with us, and we understand our message is that we are the inviters. We are going to invite them to an event. Now, they don't all attend, and that's okay. So this is the 7 levels of communication. But the secret to maximizing referrals is events. It is events because it's leverageable and scalable, whereas phone calls and one-on-one meetings aren't necessarily that way. The way to get the most amount of referrals in the shortest amount of time without spending a dime is to do an event, but not just an event, a referral generating event. The answer is events. The easy answer is events. It is the easy answer. The simple answer is events, especially if you have a system. The right answer is events. The profitable answer to lead generation is events. The practical answer is events. You probably threw a birthday party for one of your kids. It's practical. The loving, generous, appreciative answer is events. The leverageable answer, the scalable answer is events. The answer to Ninja's flow is events. The answer to Buffini's Popeyes is events. They come to you instead of you going to them. The answer to Bold's conversations is events. 100 invitations are going to be very well received. MRAA's 8x8 and 36 touch, the answer is events. The answer to Tom Ferry, he's saying you got to do video, you got to do this. The answer is events. And listen, during Event Mastery, that starts next Tuesday, I'm going to give you a video per week for you to do and send and put anywhere you want. Gary Vaynerchuk's social media, the answer is events. It's events. The Gary Keller's one thing, it's events when it comes to lead generation. Seth Godin's Purple Cow, you want to stand out in your area, in your community, do events. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, the answer is you got to think like the host of an event. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, I've read it 22 times. The answer is events. Sun Tzu, The Art of War, which applies to a lot of business practices, the answer is events. The answer to my book is events. The answer to 2,500 plus. In fact, I just finished The Art of Gathering, and I'm at over 3,500 books that I've read so far. The answer to those books is events. The answer to that wisdom is events. The answer to a Bible-based business is events. Like, what would Jesus do? What did Jesus do? He did events. The answer, my friend, is events. How about if I give you the whole helicopter look at what event mastery is? Would that help? All right. So there are lots of reasons to do an event. First of all, let me just say this. If you are an introvert like me, you have to do events because you're not going to have enough conversations. You're not going to have enough socialization. You're not going to be able to shake the trees enough to get referrals. But here's the power of an event for introverts. Introverts, who are you going to invite to your event? Or more specifically, who's actually going to attend your event? It's going to be extroverts. Extroverts are going to attend the event. What are they going to talk about when they come to the event? They're going to talk about you. Then they'll probably talk about themselves, but that's another question for another day. But they're going to talk about you, and then what happens is they meet other people who are talking positively about you. So they are then empowered and emboldened to go out and talk positively about you. You are literally, by doing events, creating an army of ambassadors who speak highly of you and spread the word about you and your business. Extroverts, you're already in. You're like, have an event? I do this all the time. What I'm going to help you do is I'm going to help you systematize, structure, and stay organized so that the best experience possible happens for the attendees and guests. Energy, that's why you do an event. Energy, the energy is in the event. Get referrals, can get referrals before, during, and after. You can get reviews. We just helped Danny Barron get over 200 five-star reviews at one event. You can become locally famous, build trust, make money, making money, have fun. Here's the thing that I want you to embrace is that there are a lot of reasons to host an event, but the biggest reason to host an event is not like just referrals or visibility or fun or what you get from them. It's who you become when you become a host. When you host an event, you become a different person, not just in the eyes of your friends and family, not just in the eyes of your past clients, not just in the eyes of your community. Ladies and gentlemen, you become a different person in your own eyes. And that is the most powerful transformation of all when it comes to events. So what exactly is event mastery, to go to Mary Hope's question? So event mastery starts on March 10th. Now, the way that we teach in Referral Mastery Academy is we typically, other than our 30-day challenges, we typically teach a content-driven class early in the week, and then we have a coach's corner late in the week. And that is how this is set up. Tuesdays are I teach you what to do. On Fridays, you might do 5 out of the 6 things and you're struggling with the 6th. You come on Friday, I help you get through the 6th. All these are at 1 p.m. Eastern. Put them on your schedule. I would put 90 minutes to 2 hours on your schedule. The only reason for that is to do instant implementation. These are live with me. We do try to record the sessions for replay. So if you happen to miss, it's there for you. In week 1, and you're seeing the plan right here, right? In week 1, we really focus on planning mastery. And I want you all to know that this session is the greatest session because it's going to mix the best of the all yap event stuff, and it's going to mix the best of the top yap stuff. And if you don't know all yap and tall yap, it's very simple. All yap is for everyone you know, and top yap is for the top people you know. There you go. Right? Week 2 is invitation mastery, and we're going to jump into marketing mastery, video mastery, and some AI mastery, and some warnings. And guess what? I'm going to teach you referral system number 1 in week 2, and some of you are going to get referrals before your event even happens because you're going to implement referral system number 1. Week 3, let's get some partners. Let's get some people to help pay for this event and have some fun with it. So I'm going to teach you sponsor mastery. In week 4, we're going to go back into invitation mastery and heavy like texting phone, but I'm going to share with you a strategy in week 4 that will change the way you do phone calls forever. It has changed the way I do phone calls, and C3PO has changed the way a lot of our members have changed the way they do phone calls. Very, very powerful. I love week 4 because like things are starting to fall in place for you. I have to warn you, in week 1, there's going to be a lot going on. Like you could feel you're going to feel overwhelmed, but it's like a novel. When you read a novel, you're reading and there's like all these people that are mentioned, and it's like you're not sure how they all fit together. But by the end of the novel, I mean, you know all those people like they're friends or enemies. So just know it's the same way in event mastery, is that it can be overwhelming. Just like trust the system, trust yourself, keep moving forward. Speaking of that, in week 5, we're going to go into power note mastery and invitation mastery. Week 5's a really good like prep week for going into the event, which is confirmation mastery. And this is honestly one of the things that is the big mistake that a lot of people make, is they forget to confirm, and then like only half the people show up. So I'm also going to teach you the referral system number 2 during week 6. And then this is geared for you to do an event during week 7. So it's not like a lot of trainings where they just train you. Literally, I am going to hold your hand to help you do a referral generating event, not just a referral generating event, but a fun, charitable, profitable, and referral generating event. So event week is week 7. Then we are going to go into follow-up mastery, which is week 8. And I'm going to teach you how to get referrals after the event. So I'm going to give you those 3 referral systems during event mastery. It is Tuesday content, Friday coaches, right? Coaches open Q&A and helping you make sure you get your planning done, your invitation done, your sponsors, your charities, get your charities, and then invitation, and then confirmation, and then event, and get your follow-up done properly. Okay? So that is the overview. It's an 8-week course, Tuesdays and Fridays, and it's event mastery. And I truly believe this is the best thing for a lot of you. I mean, if you get onto different Zooms, you get an idea, and then what do? Like you put it as part of your to-dos, but it's never too done, if you know what I'm saying. Well, what we're going to do, like, what if in 2 months I could give you 12 months of coaching, and you could repeat this over and over and over again and get a predictable amount of referrals? That's what we're doing. It's intense, but it's also consistent, right? So consistency plus intensity is excellence. That's your key. All right. For those who enroll today, a lot of you are already enrolled, so you're getting this, but here I have a warning with this. You're going to get the event mastery playbook. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. Like when you print this off and you put it into a 3-ring binder, I'm not a fan anymore of the spiral bound. It looks a lot better here, honestly, but you're going to want a 3-ring binder, and you're going to want to put this in a 3-ring binder, and you're going to keep it forever. I'm telling you right now, once you have it, you're going to be like, this thing is worth $1 million. If my house is on fire, I'm going to go get the dog, the wife, maybe a memento or 2, and this book. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to know, but when you print it, you're going to be like, holy crap, it's 100 and some pages, or it's 100 pages. So it can be overwhelming. Don't get overwhelmed. We're going to take it a page at a time. We're going to take it a day at a time. We're going to take it one step at a time. Trust the system, trust yourself, keep moving forward. So everybody would always ask me, the number one question I get once people like are sold on events is that, like, what event should I do? What event should I do? Now, the first thing that you need to write down or put in your head is fun. Like the focus is Fun first. We call it fun first. The fun first principle is it fun first? Is it fun? Right? The first question we ask, is it fun? So, and here's the thing, not necessarily fun for you. Like a Mother's Day event would not be fun for me, but you know who it is fun for? It's fun for all the moms, and that's enough for me. You have to think like a host. A host does not think like, well, I have fun doing this, so I should invite everybody else to do it. That's not a host is what would be the most fun for these particular guests. And then they put the fun together, and then they can actually live and love vicariously through the fun of the guests. So I get more joy out of other people's experience than I do my own personal experience. And that's how you have to be when it comes to these events. Now, the sweet spot dates are April 20th, which is Arbor Day, April 22nd. So that week 7, you could easily do something like a spring fest, or like that would be like flowers, trees, green, something, give away flowers, right? Or like we did, which was give away trees, which are just little twigs essentially. Then you have May Day, and then that first week of May is a really, really powerful. May 4th, you have Star Wars Day. But here's the one I want you guys to circle. If this is the first time you're going through event mastery, I want you to seriously think about doing a Cinco de Mayo event. Now, the cool thing about a Cinco de Mayo event is you don't have to do it on Tuesday. Now, here's the thing. The heavens have aligned this year for many reasons, for a lot of this. Is Cinco de Mayo is actually on Taco Tuesday, people. Cinco de Mayo is on Taco Tuesday. Like, okay, it will not be that way next year or for like 8 years. So here's the thing is you can do it on Taco Tuesday. You can actually do it, Cinco de Mayo event on Cinco de Mayo. But here's what's cool about Cinco de Mayo. You could do it Friday the 2nd. You could do it Saturday the 3rd. And if you do it Friday the 2nd, you can do it like 6 to 8 p.m. Or Saturday, you could do 5 to 7 p.m. So you have multiple dates to do your Cinco de Mayo event. And that is the simplest event to do. Like if you do it at a Mexican restaurant, do you have to worry about decorations? No. If you do it at a Mexican restaurant, do you have to worry about catering? Do you have to worry about beverages? You see where I'm saying? Like you have a really minimum setup that is going to maximize the fun and probably maximize your referrals. So I'm like my main focus, and a lot of things that you're going to hear from me are Cinco de Mayo. Okay. Now you don't have to do that. The other cool thing about perfect timing is May 10th is Mother's Day. Well, what is cool about Mother's Day? You don't have to do something on Mother's Day. In fact, you shouldn't. You should do it on the 8th or 9th. And what's cool is the 8th is Friday, and then the 9th is Saturday. And you've got some real opportunity to doing like mimosas, mother's mimosas, or Mother's Day mimosas. Or you can do some tribute to moms. You can do sip and bloom, right? A sip and bloom is you have mimosas, or if it's at night, you have wine, and then you have flowers all over the place, and they actually put together bouquets for their mothers, right? You could even have a backdrop that has, Happy Mother's Day or something like that on it, and have people taking pictures with their moms in front of the backdrop. Okay. So listen, the ideas are endless, but I can help you, and you can help, and you're going to get some help deciding on with which path that you want to go down. If you're the nerdy type, Star Wars Day, right up your alley, right? So we also have the options, and sometimes this is the best option, is we ask our top 25, do you like coffee, beer, or wine? And let's say 18 out of the 25 prefer wine. Then we do a wine event on the Wednesday of the 20th, right? Whatever that is, 22nd is 22nd Wednesday, whatever it may be. So just know If they say beer, then you do a happy hour, Thirsty Thursday, TGIF. If they say coffee, then you do a thanks a latte on the afternoon. We have lots of great options, and all we have to do is ask some questions of the people we want to invite, and all of a sudden we're going to have that answer. So real quickly, just so you know, there's 5 sequence of event mastery: the planning sequence, the invitation sequence, the confirmation sequence, the event sequence, and the follow-up sequence. And I just want to give you a high level. I'm going to go through each of these for 30 seconds just so you can get the flow of what event mastery is all about. Okay. So the first thing we're going to cover is planning mastery. And you have to like breathe a sigh of relief is, man, you've got 8 weeks here. Like you've got 8 weeks. You're fine. Most events are just way too rushed. And when they're rushed, there are things forgotten. There is stress. There are, we don't run the system the right way. But here's what's cool. 8 weeks is the sweet spot. Like we are in the sweet spot. We are perfectly timed. In fact, you're 1 week ahead right now. So if you do planning right, you can actually get referrals during the planning sequence. That's what I'm going to help you do. Okay. The success is in the planning. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, planning week. Put it on your calendar. All right. The power is in the invitation. And please understand that we are not doing this event for the attendees or the guests. We are doing the event for the communication that exists around the event. So this event mastery, as I said before, combines starting with inviting your top people with inviting all your people. So we're going to mix sending or putting a Facebook message out or a video, and we're going to mix that with very precise inviting particular people, 25 at a time. Okay. In some cases, and if you've done the event mastery, you can get more referrals during the invitation sequence than any other sequence. That's the truth. 6 weeks, right? And there's 2 types of events. We need to understand that there's a big event, which is the all YAP. Don't worry about it. The all YAP just means all yearly appreciation plan. We're following a plan here, right? And that plan exists for everyone we know. Now, what's cool about that? The plan doesn't change, but everyone we know does, because you know more people all the time. Well, as you know more people, you just put them into the all YAP, and you're making sure you communicate with everybody appropriately, and you are. The other type of an event is a small event. You've heard the coin phrase right now is micro event. It used to be called target event. There also was something called segmented events, and there's also avatar events, which is what is the particular avatar you're going after. We're actually mixing all of those to implement the top YAP. And the top YAP is the top yearly ambassador program. And what we've got to do is we've got to keep our top people, because if they're not our top people, they become other people's top people, and that's not good. So who do we invite? You guys want to know that? Who do you invite? Who do we invite to our who are we going to invite to our event that's in April or May? We're going to invite the top people. Dang right. We're going to invite them first. But that's not all we're going to invite. We're going to invite current and past clients. But here's the thing. We're not calling this a client event. This is not a client event. This is a community event. You might want to write that down. This is a community event. Your sphere, your community of influence. We're going to invite networking partners and affiliates. You dang well better invite your networking partners and your affiliates, like the inspector and so on and so forth. You definitely want to invite them. You're going to invite your Facebook friends to this one. That's right. You're going to invite them all. But we're going to use some language where they better sign up or they're going to be left out. Limited space. When you do a Cinco de Mayo event at a Mexican restaurant, you only have 50, 60 spots. Guess what? That creates urgency. It's a beautiful thing when it comes to marketing and events. All right. This is probably one you hadn't thought of. We are going to invite out-of-town agents. Out-of-town agents. That's right. Not in-town agents, not competitive agents, but you should be inviting people. You met a bunch of people at family reunion. The next best thing, invite those out of town agents to your events. And here's the thing, you're like, well, they're not going to come. And that's just assuming. I have invited out of town agents to a lot of events, and I'm telling you, they sometimes will come. So, and would you love them to come? Would you love if two or three really good referral agents from out of town came to your Cinco de Mayo event? The answer to that's yes. That's right. Everyone you've ever met. We're going to invite everyone you've ever met to this event. Everyone you've ever met. Now, here's the thing. You're like, well, what if they all come? And it's like, give me a break, right? Give me a break. And the other thing is we have language to assure that we're communicating in the right way so that if they're too late, they're too late. This is a big one. You are going to invite every internet lead that you've ever gotten from Zillow or homes.com or any of the internet leads you've gotten from your own site. You're going to invite every internet lead you have ever gotten to this event. Got it? I bet you didn't think of that one either. I'll talk about other ways to get more people down the road, but all means all. We're going to invite everyone. And just remember, the power is in the invitation. Then the confirmation sequence, we're going to talk about how to confirm in a way that makes sure that they show up. We're going to double your attendance. Then we're going to talk about like what makes a great event. Why is there energy in an event, and how do we manage the energy of an event? Also, we're going to talk about here's another big mistake I see is people have the event, they take all that energy, and then it fizzles because there's no follow-up. I almost said 20 years ago, the fizzle is in the follow-up, right? But it's like, don't fizzle in your follow-up. You want a fortune in your follow-up. This is also a social media extravaganza for you Gary Vee fans. All right. Also, I'm going to talk to you about how to get sponsors. Session 3 is all about getting sponsors to the point where you zero base or profit from your event. Marketing mastery. I'm going to cover how to market your event in a way that is very attractive and it is communicating in the right way. Plus, it also communicates in a way that you are a leader in your community. So we've had so many success stories. I have over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have 19 people to interview on Referrals podcast because they've gotten multiple referrals from their events, right? So Cynthia Bear, right? You guys know her from Atlanta. She got 148 referrals at one event. Here's the rest of the story. Second event, 207 incoming referrals and 35 outgoing referrals, right? Not made up. They're documented, baby. Documented online and documented on paper. Charity mastery. If you're going to do an event with us, you're going to incorporate a charity, period. We are the generosity generation. And what if I told you, when you include a charity, you get everything and it costs you nothing? Bonus 4, we're going to go into AI mastery during this. And honestly, it's a little bit helpful, but also there's going to be plenty of warnings involved with AI. Is don't lose your voice in the invitations. Don't lose your voice in the videos. Don't lose your voice, right? We want to make sure that we keep AI, the IA, which is an intelligent assistant. And here's the other thing I'll tell you about AI that we really got to be careful with. And AI is phenomenal at idea generation. And I'm telling you, I'm going to share with you the simplest, most basic way for you to run an event and get referrals. If you go to AI and you say, hey, I'm having a Cinco de Mayo event, how can I make it more entertaining, more exciting, more something? Then AI is going to give you all these extra things that, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to do. And all it does is become a part of a management problem. And I'll give you an example. You don't need swag bags. Like if this is your first event with us, don't do swag bags. Don't do bags. It's just another thing to manage. So you're giving like the first drink, you're giving tacos, you're giving a good time. So don't think that you've got to give anything above and beyond that. So one strategy from Event Mastery, tripled your referrals. Love that. And I'm going to teach you that strategy. Social media mastery. We are going to dive deep in this session. We did not do that at all in Event Mastery VIP in January and February on purpose. But with this one, it's going to be a pretty public event. And we're going to have some fun with this. Once again, we're going to dive into it. And social media and video mastery tend to work hand in hand. We're also going to, I'm going to give you 8 videos to do in 8 weeks. So one video per week that you can do. It's a 30-second video. You can post it anywhere. You can email it anywhere. You can text it to people, but you've got it and you can use it. Referral mastery. We're going to show you the 3 referral systems that get you referrals before, during, and after your event. 2 objectives. One was give massive value first, and the second thing was to talk about event mastery. So hopefully those objectives have been completed for you. This is what the bundle looks like. All right. So in summary, it is me helping you step by simple step do a profitable referral generating event. So I'm going to personally coach you every Tuesday and Friday for 8 weeks. Sessions are around 90 minutes. The content is 60 to 75 minutes. The first week, it will be 90 minutes of content just to get you started. We will get in depth with all of those things. I'm going to help you get sponsors, charities, and one thing that people sometimes think about is like, that's a lot to do. Well, we're going to help you get volunteers from your sphere who are literally itching to help. They want to roll and they want to be able to help. So we're going to help you get the people to help you do the things. The who is not you. It is a simple system. Run the play, get referrals. How much is it? I'm glad you asked. So here's the thing. Typically when you do this, if you took it and broke it apart, it'd be a $15,000 package, right? $15,000. But it's not that. It's typically $2,000, but you can get started not for $2,000. You can do it either for $997, or if you're not in it from this event, just go to eventmastery.com and then sign up for RMA. It's $99 a month and you stay in for March and April. And then if you want to cancel after that, you can cancel. There's no contract for Referral Mastery Academy. It's up to us to keep you. So you can actually get into Event Mastery. And now this is a one-time offer, right? So you can go there, make this happen, go and get into RMA and make it happen. So the link in the chat is eventmastery.com, or you can click on the QR code that's to the right. That is not a typo. You're going to get the playbook. Make sure you print that out, put it in a 3-ring binder. You can print it at the office or you can print it at home, any of the Kinko's or whatever it may be. I just want you guys to know, I am nobody special. I'm from a small town in Kansas, town called Gardner. I grew up in stark poverty, the son of a teacher who made less than $10,000 a year and a stay-at-home mom who had 5 kids to round up. Food stamps were money to us. I wore hand-me-downs for clothes. I went to 5 different colleges. I was a high school teacher and a coach for 3 sports. When I started, I didn't have a sphere of influence at all. None, zip, zero, nada. I had little to no training in real estate. I have spent 20 years, actually, that's probably closer to 30 at this point, trial and error to discover these secrets I'm just going to give you for a small. You can spend countless hours trying to do this and read all the books I've read, but why just do what I do now, right? And when I say that, I say trust the system, trust yourself, keep moving forward, okay? So if you're not in it yet, get in it. How about that?